welcome to Community View. I'm Sherry Collin. Today we'll be talking about one of my favorite topics, anything related to well-being, healthy living, all of that. Well, today we have Tatjana Scholl, who is well-known personal trainer, bodybuilder, so on. She was Miss Universe, Miss Germany, and we'll be talking more with her. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
Well, we have some work to do with this body today.
We all have work to do.
Well, let's talk about the basic. Why is weight training so important?
First of all, I believe that all forms of exercise are important. There is not one thing that will do the trick. So weight training is just one form of the components of fitness, which include also aerobics, flexibility training, and of course eating healthy. But weight training is my personal passion because I just received so many benefits and so many wonderful things happen to my body because of weight training. So it's my personal baby. And I wish I could make every person in this world work out with weights.
The picture you just saw, that's the body I want to look like eventually. But no, we'll talk about the reality of, how long have you been doing this?
I have been involved in the fitness industry for about 20 years now, and I started training really when I was a teenager. In my late teens, I was 18, and I tell people that if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I was severely unathletic as a child. I hated any form of physical exercise. I didn't even go to physical education in school. Those were the first 2 hours of the day, which meant to me I can sleep in. And by the age of 18, even though I wasn't necessarily overweight, I developed, and it's hard for me to admit it here, but I developed cellulite on the back of my legs and my buttocks, and I just felt, as an 18-year-old woman, I'm way too young for that. But I just really did not have any, muscle, any form of fitness. And so I even went to the doctor and I asked him if there's anything I can do about it, and he told me it's genetic, there's nothing I can do, and just accept my body the way it is, blah, blah, blah. And of course, an 18-year-old girl doesn't want to hear something like that, So I tried many different things, and weight training was really the one that helped me. And not only did it help me in my appearance, it also helped me in many other ways. I felt much better, I had much more energy, and felt much stronger, more confident, and just healthier, So that's what really got me into training, and from that I went into other areas of fitness also. I love yoga, for example. I love flexibility training, which yoga is a wonderful form of, and I love aerobics. My personal favorite is hiking. I love to hike the mountains here in the desert. It's so beautiful here, And so that's really how I got into it. I was very unfit, and that's why I love junk food. I still do. And I lived basically from potato chips and chocolate when I was a kid. My mom could never get any vegetables or anything into me, So, like I say, I was very unathletic and out of shape, and weight training saved my life, basically.
And you said it, if you can do it, anyone else can do it. It's just required commitment and dedication and know what you're doing. So, and I'm a perfect candidate of not to know exactly what you're supposed to do with the weight training. Now, what I mean by that, I understand, how to use it, but is the right form, and what are you trying to focus on, and how many reps and weight? You hear different perception on that. Can you clarify what is, in your opinion, is the best way when you're trying to? Well, before we get into that, what is the difference between you would see pictures of big, muscle to look healthy and fit?
Well, it's all a result of the training, the weight training, and that is my also personal favorite about weight training, is that you can do whatever you want. So if you are trying to lose weight or lose size, then you can do that with weights. There's nothing better to tone your body, obviously. If you want to get bigger, you can also do this. As a matter of fact, in my mind, weight training is an art, and your body is the sculpture, and you can sculpture it in whichever way you want. It just takes some more time than putting a sculpture together. You can't just take a piece of clay and put it there. It's about many workouts, but you can achieve whatever you want. And it's just a different form of training, to train for competition, which I have done, and to train for muscle mass or to train for muscle quality. You know, there's different approaches. If you train for muscle mass, you just basically have to do much more. I had to exercise 5 to 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, in order to get some muscle mass and some bulk. It was very, very hard. And as a woman, it's basically impossible if you work out 2 to 3 times a week to get bulky, you know.
So if a person, like, let's use myself as an example, if I worked with weights 3 times a week, I can, my chance of accomplishing more is to reshape my body.
Absolutely, absolutely. Depending on the person, it will take anywhere from 3 months to a year to achieve their goals. You need to work out at least twice a week because your muscles need to be exercised twice in an 8-day period in order to change shape. If you would work your muscle once in an 8-day period, you would maintain the shape you have, which means you wouldn't get worse, you wouldn't lose any muscle, but you wouldn't get better either. I recommend 3 times a week rather than twice because it just will get you to your goal a little bit faster. The other thing that people do with weight training is it's anaerobic training. It's the opposite of aerobics. And anaerobic training means basically that you do a high intensity, low duration routine, where aerobics is about high duration, long duration, low intensity. Yeah. So if I do weight training, I will do squats, for example, which is, by the way, my favorite exercise in the world. I have my little saying. Can I say it real quick? Marilyn Monroe always used to say that diamonds are a girl's best friend. And I say no, Marilyn, squats are a girl's best friend. And if you do your squats, the diamonds will come. There's nothing better for the lower body of a woman than squats.
That's a good way to close that, and we're getting to talk about weight training after this short break. Don't go away. Hello, welcome back. Talking with Tatjana about well-being and weight and all of that. Let's talk about the real results of people that you have worked with, and yourself, who was a bodybuilder, and what it takes. And I know you have some pictures to show. And what did you do when you work with people, including yourself, to achieve what you want to do?
Well, first of all, it's a little bit different from person to person. Everybody's body is different. There's no 2 bodies in this world that are alike. It's just there's no 2 snowflakes that are alike. And but the principles are the same. And like I mentioned before, you need to exercise with the weights 3 times a week, preferably a whole body routine, so you make sure each muscle is worked at least twice in 8 days. You should, in weight training, anaerobic training, like I said, it's about anaerobic, meaning high intensity, low duration, and therefore you need to exercise in sets. So if you do an exercise like my favorite one, for example, squats, let's say you would do 15 repetitions, and then you have to rest, you have to wait, and then you have to do it again. And you need to do at least 3 sets of each exercise in order to get results from it. Basically, to make sure your muscle is fatigued, because that's what the principle is based on. It's about breaking down the tissue, making it tired, and then letting it recover. And in the recovery time is when it will get better. Each time you break it down, it will repair and recover, and then after each repair, it's better, and that's how you get your results.
Now, when you say like 3 sets, 15, 15, 15, and how much time do you wait?
Actually, I like people to, because it is called weight training, so you need to use weights. You need to have some resistance. You can't just go through the motion and not feel anything. It has to feel hard to you. But it needs to feel hard while you are able to do the perfect form of the exercise and the full range of motion. So if you would do a biceps curl, you want to go all the way up and all the way down. You don't just want to go like this, you know? So you have to do the full range of motion, which if you do the full range of motion, you also get flexibility training, because it's a natural stretch of each muscle. And the way I like people to start is to do a what I call warm-up set, where you do lighter weight and higher repetitions, maybe 20 reps, just to warm up the whole area, the muscle, which is also included is your tendons, your ligaments, your joints, your bones. So you want to make sure you have circulation there and everything is warm. And then for your second set, you increase the resistance, the weight, and you do less repetitions. Now, the best repetition amount to build some muscle, and I'm talking about muscle quality here, not muscle quantity, is to do between 8 and 12 repetitions. That's what I recommend. 8 to 12 repetitions where it feels hard, but still be able to do the perfect form, of course. And that you can keep for your third set also. And then you go to the next exercise. You start again with 20 reps for your warm-up set. You should rest between 30 and 90 seconds in between your sets. Your rest is as important as the set itself, and that is where I think most people make a mistake in weight training. They feel that they have to huff and puff and crawl out of the gym when they are done, and they want to make it aerobic, but it's not. It's anaerobic. It's exactly the opposite of aerobics. It's not about huffing and puffing. It's about feeling it feeling hard, but actually weight training should make people feel more awake and have more energy and be less tired than before their training. That's the difference between aerobics and anaerobics also, So the biggest mistake you can make is to go run from one machine to the other, to only do one set maybe, and to not rest in between your exercises. That is very important. That's very wrong to do,
For clarification, when a person maybe they're doing the squats,
Yeah.
They do 15, do you recommend that they stay rest in between or move on to another equipment and do the whole round again?
No, it's I'm very much against that, and it's called circuit training, and it's again a way to try to make anaerobic training aerobic. And I don't understand why. Why can't you just do your anaerobics the way they are supposed to be and then do your aerobics? You cannot combine the two because they are the opposite of each other. So it's very important that you will stay with the exercise you're doing, because basically what you're doing is you're pumping blood to the area that you're working. With each motion, you're pumping blood to that area. And the blood will stimulate the muscle tissue also next to the fatiguing to get better. So if you run from one exercise to the other, you pump the blood throughout your body, and it's very good for your circulation and it's good for your health, but it will not give you the actual benefits of weight training, which is to tone your body, increase your bone density, increase the strength of your ligaments and tendon, and all those wonderful things can only happen if you stay with one muscle until you are completely finished with your 3 sets, and then you go to the next thing.
Well, sound pretty easy. I mean, basically it's common sense, and there are different opinions, and I'm glad you clarified that. We're going to be talking more with Tatjana about eating, healthy eating, and how you can get yourself in shape and when it's a good age to start. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We were talking at break time. If you want us to kind of clarify, your principle of training people with the bodies.
Well, I just wanted to clarify that it really isn't my principle. It's not my program. I just follow the principles of training, anaerobic training, aerobic training. It's not anything that I make up or that I feel is working or not working. I just follow the basic principles on how our bodies work.
And that's very important, Joe, that we need to remind ourselves, and we have to do it the right way, where she's just explaining she's following the right way. And we need to do everything the right way. So, now let's talk about, sometimes we don't do things the right way and it can hurt ourselves. And that's important to talk with the expert, like Tatjana. And, talk about who is a good candidate to start, the weight training, when do you begin? When we look at some of these pictures, it's like, wow, that looked like it'd take 10 years to look like a really, perfect fit.
Well, it does not happen overnight, yes. Only catastrophes happen overnight usually, and everything good takes some time, right? Unfortunately. But everybody is a good candidate. Like I said before, if I could, I would make everybody in this world work out. And there is really no age limit when it goes up age.
Well, tell me about this picture right here.
This is one of my clients, and she experienced some weight gain after her pregnancy that she wanted to lose, and the time frame between the before and after picture is 6 months, and she exercised 3 times a week with the weights, and she also did aerobics 3 times a week. Now, the aerobics is not something that I necessarily recommend for the shape of your body or weight loss, but aerobics are extremely important for your health, and to be all over fit, you have to do everything like I explained before. So she was working out with weights 3 times a week for about an hour, and then she also did 30-minute aerobic training 3 times a week for her cardiovascular and her lung capacity and her pulmonary system.
Then let's move on to, you talk about the exercise and the weight training, healthy eating, while you're, working out or trying to live healthy.
Well, if somebody is starting to exercise because they want to lose weight or body fat, I would say, then including the nutrition is very beneficial to see results faster. In the end, everybody should eat healthy for their health, but it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with your appearance. The most important key for a healthy body composition, to have not too much body fat and to have enough lean body mass, is your metabolism. And your metabolism comes from exercise. That's why diets don't work. They will give you temporary results. People go on diets, they will lose weight. They don't exercise while they're doing the diet. They stop the diet and they will gain all the weight back, and they will even gain more weight because their metabolism is so slow, and they took that fat away from themselves forcefully, and their body is worried that they will do it again, so it will even hold on more to the fat than it did before the diet. The only time I tell people to go on a diet is if they realize that, if somebody says, okay, I have to go to a wedding, or I have to go and do a talk show, then they understand it's a temporary fix. Like an actor, they have to get ready for a certain role, but you don't necessarily may want to see this actor 2 months after the film is done, because he may have gone on some indulgence binges, and which is fine. He understands it's his job. But in general, true weight loss comes from exercise and changing the metabolism. That's the only thing that works. So people may maybe diet in the beginning a little bit, watching their food and making sure they're eating right, not too many carbs, not too much fat. And I also recommend for them to eat a little bit higher protein maybe in the beginning, because protein will help them build the muscle. And muscle is the most metabolic active tissue, so that's what will increase your metabolism.
We're going to take a short break. Don't go away. Welcome back. Tatjana, we talked a lot about, waste and healthy living, etc. And let's talk about your business. What do you do?
Well, my goal is really to set people up to learn about exercise and nutrition, but mainly about exercise, so they can continue for the rest of their life on their own. My guideline for my business is really keep it simple, stick with the basics, and get real results. And that may be something that is different from person to person. I work with people from the age of 16 to the age, my oldest client right now is 85. And I work with people with multiple sclerosis, osteoporosis, people that just are very healthy, but they just want to do more and they want to maintain their health. So I have all different kinds of clients. I work with some models, and everybody has different goals. Some are geared towards health or rehabilitation. Some are geared towards appearance. And so everybody's different. But basically, I design customized training and nutrition programs for people to continue on their own, so they can do it for the rest of their lives. And I also believe that mind and body work together, so I believe that if somebody understands what they are doing, they will get better results than if they just go through the motion.
I mean, I think that's wonderful that you provide customized training so that people can do it on their own, as opposed to depend on someone and just
Exactly.
watch and tell them what to do, and they'll never learn to do it properly on their own.
Exactly, and it's something that I've heard before. People tell me my trainer moved away, and then since then I haven't exercised anymore, and that's really sad. They should be able to do it on their own. It's just like everything else. You learn it, and it's very important to learn it right. So I definitely recommend for everybody to get somebody that knows what they're doing and to learn it from them, just rather than trying to experiment on your own. But then once you learned it, there's no reason not to continue it. And again, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, Tatjana, it was just a pleasure having you here with us. We really appreciate it. I've learned a lot of things from you.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to being here.
So as you have learned and heard today, healthy living is very important, and you have to learn to eat and work out appropriately, and you can live forever and ever and yet still enjoy life. So please take care of yourself. I see you the next time. My name is Sherry Collins. So long.